what all exactly is needed in that event copy. Now again, the event copy does need to go through the Seneschal, but it doesn't have to actually originate from the Seneschal. It's going to originate from the autocrat, because the autocrat is the person who's privy to all this information that's going into the event. You know, so don't make your Seneschal just make something up on the spot, because you probably, you and everybody else probably won't like what he comes up with. But you want to come up with all the information that's going to be required for that event copy, and turn all that over to the Seneschal. Once again, for publication, it's going to need to go in before the first of the month prior to the event. So for an April event, even if that event is April, 28th or whatever, at the end of the month, that still is going to need to go in prior to March 1st. So that means your deadline is going to be in February for that April event to get that event copy in. Your Seneschal is going to want it 2 weeks before that deadline, so he's going to want it by by mid-February, no matter what part of April that event is going to be in. Okay, so by mid-February for that April event, you want to get that event copy to the Seneschal, and it's going to include, first off, of course, the name of the event. What is this event being called? Just for name recognition purposes. What are the dates that this event is going to cover? Is it going to be a one-day event? What day? Is it going to be a whole weekend event? Is it going to be a 2-week-long war? What's it going to be? So you got to give specific dates and the location where the event is going to occur. So in our case, we would put Stronghold of Battle Rock, but don't just put Stronghold of Battle Rock. For the sake of those who have no idea where Battle Rock is, tell them that's Okinawa, Japan. So, it's going to be the Rise of the Phoenix Crest Tourney is the name of the event. That's going to go in big letters at the top, and then it's going to be, for April 15th and 16th, and then that's going to be in Battle Rock, and then in parentheses, Okinawa, Japan. Just so everybody's clear on where that is. So that's the first part. Then you're going to give some kind of a tagline, or something to draw people to the event and give them some idea what to expect. So come and all are invited to come and join in on our crest tournament to see the best crests in the far west, or something clever like that. And then after that, you're going to give that breakdown of information that they're going to need to know about the site. Okay, where is the site? What time does the site open? What time does the site close? Is this a wet or dry site? Is this a pet-friendly site? Are there flushing toilets or porta potties, or what do we have available there? And about the site also, if it's a camping event, do they allow ground fires, that sort of thing. All that information that they would need to know. And then be sure to give good directions, driving directions, either to the site or, worst case scenario, to a rendezvous point. But if it's a rendezvous point, make it clear that this is a rendezvous point and we will depart from there at such and such time, so that folks understand they gotta be there by that time or they're gonna get left behind.
So for this person that's going to be putting together this event listing for the Seneschal's approval, where can they go to find that information? All the information needs to be done in the initial...
Well, I'm not quite finished yet, because there's one more key piece of information that's going to be needed, and that is what's the name of the event autocrat, and not just their name, but also their phone number, email address, and their mailing address. Which out here in the far west seems kind of silly to give people your mailing address that nobody's ever going to use, but they expect it and they require it. As far as where the information can be found, well, there's so many different ways that you can get all this information that you would need. You can go to westkingdom.org. You can find the information there. For folks here in the West Kingdom, you can open up the page, which is the Kingdom newsletter, and right in the front, it gives the full breakdown of what's required for event copy submissions and what is the deadline for when those submissions need to come in. And it gives you this full listing of what's the required information as well. Also, westkingdom.org calendar policy. There's a calendar policy page, and it gives the whole breakdown on not only event publication in the page, but also how to get your event listed on the Kingdom calendar. And so that's very valuable information to have as well. So that's going to be just West Kingdom calendar policy on westkingdom.org. You can just Google search West Kingdom calendar policy and you'll find it.
Okay.
So what else? Let's see.
So we figured out all the stuff about the event. We have published information out. Planning is tootling along for the event. You have selected event staff. So at this point, you as Autocrat want to make sure you're attending all your populace meetings for your group, that if there are officer meetings that you need to attend, so if something has gone wildly astray and the initial budget that you and the Seneschal and the Exchequer set, there's some additional costs that you hadn't planned for. You need to go to them and get permission to spend more money or make some sort of financial decision about that. This would be the time to schedule meetings with your event staff. Now, it may seem like when you ask people to help out with the event and you say, I need for you to be in charge of Troll, you know in your head what that means. You know that means that the person in charge of Troll needs to be there prior to the site opening. The person in charge of Troll may not click in their head, they may not understand that that's the expectation, they may think that they can come in the last person into the event, and that is where you will run into anxiety, anger, and discontent all around if you have expectations as the Autocrat that you don't articulate out for the other people that you're working with. So particularly for people that have not, they may have gone to events before, but maybe they were not responsible parties at an event, so they weren't in charge of anything. It just really behooves you to sit down with them and explain, okay, you're in charge of Troll. Here's what that means. You will be there before the event opens and until X time. And for that time period, you are at Troll. These are the forms that you will be using. This is the change fund that you will have. This is what you will do when Troll closes. You will go and see the Exchequer and you will turn over the money at that point, or however you're running that. But you really do want to break it down for the people that are in charge of things. If it's a feast, you need to break it down for your feast crew. This is the time that you're expected to be there. No kidding. So if you are working with people where, again, you know that start times are very fluid and or non-existent, you have to build that into your schedule because people are not going to suddenly stop having a fluid start time for stuff just for your one event. If you know that this person generally is, if you say 11 and it's like 11:30, 11:45 and they feel like they're on time, then you have to build that into your schedule. Or you just don't have them volunteer for whatever it is, the thing that they're going to be responsible for.